Hey, it's great to be with you again today. Um, do you have problems in your life? All right. Sometimes they come out of nowhere and they kind of blindside you, and you weren't expecting it. You didn't see it coming. And today, you know, I am going about my daily business, and all of a sudden, this unexpected problem comes into my life. It just like wham, right out of nowhere. I didn't see it coming, didn't expect it. So it was kind of a shock when it happened. And immediately I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? How am I going to deal with this? I mean, this is just ridiculous. And I started to feel like this anxiety building up inside of me. And so I got in my car and I was driving, and it was rolling through my head about how am I going to do this? How am I going to cover this? And how am I going to do this and make sure that everything goes well? And who am I going to get? And all of a sudden, this voice in my head said, why are you worrying? Why are you worrying? And it occurred to me that I was worrying, right? And it's one of those things where I go, God, oh my gosh, you have answered so many of my prayers just in the last couple months, like immediately, like doors open, people come into my life, job opportunities happen, housing events happen, all these things. Like God has answered so many things so quickly when I prayed. And I said to myself, why didn't you start praying immediately? Why did you first worry for like 15 minutes, trying to figure it out on your own, trying to figure out what you're going to do, instead of immediately saying, God, here is my dilemma. Can you help me? Can you open the door? Can you show me a way? Can you give me your vision for what is supposed to be occurring right now? What was happening was great, but maybe God has something else in mind. And so I have to just breathe and take that problem and lay it at the foot of the cross. Because when I do that, the problem is no longer mine. It's God's. It's in His hands. And He will deal with it as He sees fit. And a buddy of mine said this to me, and I've said it before. Work as hard as you can. Pray as hard as you can. Act like it all depends on you by the hard work you put in, but believe that it all depends on God and how He's going to act. And as we go through these days, may we keep that in our minds, because it's so easy for us to get wrapped up in the issue and not give it to God. May God continue to pour out His grace, mercy, and blessings on each and every one of us until we get to meet again. Amen. Amen.